holding on, holding on, holding on, holding on, to keep on holding on, holding on, holding on, holding on.
In 1893, the government, now led by Premier Richard Seton, brought an electoral bill before the House. It seemed possible that at last women would win the vote, even though the Premier himself was against women's suffrage. According to the newspapers, the Premier was not alone. One newspaper reported that it is no secret that every single member of the government hates women's suffrage at heart. If it could, the government would wriggle out of granting women the franchise. Right up to the last minute, the same old objections were raised.
Women thought to stay at home with the reign supreme. They do not belong in the term of politics.
Surely you are aware that a large number of New Zealand women earn their own living. 45,000 in fact. Some of these women own farms and businesses. They must pay taxes as men do. Is it disgraceful that they do not have the vote?
We have not seen much proof that the good women of New Zealand, even me, would want the vote.
Well, here is your proof. A petition of women of the colony, more numerously signed than any other petition that has ever been presented to the Parliament, or for that matter, any Australian colonies.
As Sir John unrolled the enormous petition that thousands of women had signed and Kate had so painstakingly glued together, the members fell most silently. Soon the solid roll was bowling along the floor to the other end of the chamber.
I don't believe that a few hundred signatures can speak for the women of the colony. Besides, how do we know all these names are real?
Mr. Fish, do not judge this petition by your own low standards. There are more than 31,000 signatures from women on this petition.
Well, see what else conclude that the ladies will like the franchise after all.
If that is the case, Mr. Seddon, I would like an assurance from you and your government that the electoral bill will be passed with women's franchise included.
Don't be so ridiculous. How dare you challenge my word? Do you doubt our sincerity on this issue?
I do. You, yourself, sir, have been no friend to the suffragists.
What nonsense! I have no discussion on the matter. We will bring the electoral bill without delay.
I must protest. We need a national referendum of the question of the women's franchise. We cannot take such a grave step based on these signatures. Probably some of them have been duplicated, triplicated, and even quadrupled.
Mr. Fish, those are wild, reckless, and unjustifiable assertions.
And furthermore, I believe it's unlikely that those women who have signed the petition even know what they were signing. You see, there's no men's signatures on these petitions, just those of the women. These women have never done a day's work in their life. They're absolutely ignorant of the ABC of duty and responsibility in a public sense.
Despite these desperate arguments, the electoral bill passed the 3 required readings in the House. Each time the vote was nail bitingly close. Then the bill had to be passed by the Legislative Council, which it narrowly did, to the surprise of Premier Richard Seton. All that remained was for the government to give an assent. The anti-suffragists put great pressure on the governor to refuse it. Kate Sheppard sent a letter to the governor, once more pointing out the reasons why women's suffragette should be granted. At last, the governor signed, and the electoral bill granting the women to vote was made a law.
A tornado flew around my room before you came. Excuse the mess.